From covenant to contract, how marriage was downgraded. There was a time, not long ago, when marriage wasn't just a legal milestone. It was a covenant, a sacred promise not merely between two people, but between two souls and their creator. Marriage was never designed to be paperwork. It was an altar, a vow before heaven, a union forged not for convenience or social status, but for continuity of lineage, for spiritual alignment, and for the construction of a home that could withstand anything. That's not romanticism. That's spiritual architecture. And like everything sacred, that architecture has been under assault. Today, marriage has been downgraded. It's no longer a covenant. It's a contract. And that shift, subtle in language, seismic in effect, is one of the most devastating weapons ever deployed against the family. Because once you reduce marriage to a contract, you remove its divine binding. A contract is governed by the state, not by God. It is written in ink, not in spirit. It is based on mutual benefit, not eternal commitment. And worst of all, it's made to be broken. Let's go deeper. In the original design, marriage was not about personal fulfillment. It was about alignment. It brought together masculine and feminine energy under divine authority. The man wasn't just a partner. He was a spiritual head, a protector, provider, and priest of the home. The woman wasn't just a spouse. She was the spirit keeper, the nurturer, the intuitive force that guarded the heart of the house. Together, their unity created a covering, a shield that protected the soul of the family. Children raised under this structure didn't just receive material support. They received identity passed down through spiritual alignment. Now contrast that with what we have today. Modern marriage is framed by emotional convenience and legal registration. It's managed through government forms, tax codes, and state-enforced terms. It's negotiated through prenups. It's dissolved through no-fault divorce. And the moment the emotional high fades or personal fulfillment becomes inconvenient, the entire structure is discarded. No repentance, no reflection, just dissolution. This isn't just a moral problem. It's a spiritual crisis. Because when you destroy covenant, you destroy the soil that grows strong souls. You can't build rooted children in a relationship that is structurally designed to break under pressure. The family is supposed to be the safest place on earth. But when marriage becomes a contract, the foundation of that safety becomes conditional, temporary, negotiable. No-fault divorce laws made it easy to walk away from covenant with no accountability. On paper, they seemed liberating. Freedom from abuse, from entrapment, from unhappiness. But beneath the surface, these laws sent a deeper message. That vows are meaningless, that spiritual promises are optional, that the state, not God, gets the final say in who stays together and who walks away. The sacred was handed over to bureaucracy. And the consequences are everywhere. We now raise generations who see marriage as a risk, not a refuge. Many young adults avoid marriage entirely, not because they reject love, but because they've never seen a covenant hold. They've seen relationships built on attraction and broken by discomfort. They've watched their parents split, their friends cycle through cohabitation. Their culture teach them that commitment is dangerous. So they stay uncommitted, not because they're free, but because they're afraid. And fear cannot build legacy. But that fear was installed for a reason. Because if you can make people distrust marriage, you make them distrust the very structure that anchors the family. And once the family collapses, the child is left exposed. And an exposed child is vulnerable to control. Let's be even more direct. The enemy knows what marriage is worth. That's why it's under siege. Covenant love is powerful. It produces resilience. It births identity. It protects spiritual inheritance. It is generationally effective. That's why legal systems, economic incentives, and cultural messaging all subtly discourage it. The modern world doesn't want bonded lineage. It wants isolated individuals. It doesn't want homes ruled by unity. It wants citizens ruled by state authority. And when the marriage collapses, that's exactly what it gets. Look at what happens when covenant is gone. Fathers are removed, mothers are overwhelmed, children are tossed between households, often weaponized by courts and broken by instability. The spiritual order is inverted, and into that chaos steps the system, offering solutions, protocols, and programming. The state becomes the mediator. The school becomes the moral compass. The device becomes the comforter. And the spiritual imprint that should have come from parents rooted in holy union never arrives. This isn't to say that every marriage must look perfect, or that divorce is always avoidable. But we must tell the truth. When marriage is reduced to contract, the entire family ecosystem becomes fragile. And when that fragility becomes normalized, we lose the ability to protect the soul. Because covenant wasn't about perfection. It was about stability under spiritual pressure. It meant staying through the storm, learning to grow together, surrendering ego to build unity, teaching children what loyalty looks like, not through fantasy, but through demonstration. When parents honored covenant, they modeled heaven's consistency. And the child internalized it. Today's contracts don't model heaven. They model convenience. And we wonder why so many people now treat relationships as disposable. Why children are afraid of commitment. Why adults hop from connection to connection without forming real intimacy. It's because the foundation was made of sand, not stone. You can't build strong children in a broken covenant zone. You can't teach trust in a house built on exit clauses. And you can't mirror divine love in relationships that were never consecrated by something higher than mutual agreement. This isn't just a marriage problem, it's a spiritual architecture problem. We must stop pretending that marriage is a lifestyle choice and begin restoring it as a holy assignment, not just for the couple, but for the generation to come. Because marriage is not just about two people loving each other. It's about constructing the frame that holds the human soul as it grows. And when that frame is built in covenant, sealed in spirit, forged in loyalty, honored through challenge, it creates a covering that the system cannot penetrate. That's why it's being attacked. That's why it's being downgraded. Not because it's outdated, but because it's unbreakable. This is dissolving the family structure. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones, the replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans, the merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.